What's happening, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Jester Radio. A guest I've had on before. She's a businesswoman, foremost. And obviously, I think it's the most important thing, and the thing we want to focus on today is obviously her success in business and her ideas in business and, you know, her methods of creating a business, starting a business and running a business, a successful business, one that, you know, she started, she founded, and she has grown and established, and it's one of the prominent brands in South Africa and in women's fitness clothing, fitness attire, fashion, and it's not actually just fitness. It's also about, you know, it's about creating a lifestyle and promoting a lifestyle. So, Jenadine, thank you so much for coming on once again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Your words were very kind about my brand. Thank you.
Of course, I think it is something that it does create a lifestyle, and people look at it, they'll be like, you know, I want to aspire to that lady wearing those pants. It's something that. And that's also something I assume you started the brand with, is, you know, you want to focus on creating a lifestyle that people say, you know, I want people to perceive me as this way because I'm wearing the brand.
When I started, I was obviously I was a new mother as well. And I realized how easy it is as a mother to let yourself go, because like today, I'm having a good hair day. It's usually up in a bun and off you go, because new moms will also tell you they can't remember when last they wore high heels. It's just you have to tone down a little bit. So my whole thing was literally getting items and stuff to make women feel good about themselves and confident, and also not things that you can get easily in shops, maybe a little bit out there, but I wanted women to feel sexy and comfortable, not just being mothers, but just when you go do grocery shopping, you don't have to wear a tracksuit or feel like you know you're not beautiful anymore after being a mother, or you don't even have to be a mother to wear the clothing. A lot of people think it's I actually got a message the other day, why am I calling myself Million Mama when I don't sell maternity clothes? But I feel as even when you're pregnant, you shouldn't just be wearing maternity clothes. Why can't you wear anything that you want? And that's what Million Mama is about, making women feel good while working on themselves at the same time.
And I think what's nice about, you know, the clothing is there's very little effort that you have to put into wearing the clothing to look good. So, I mean, you literally just put on the pants and it shapes your body perfectly.
Yes, I saw a gap. I was the first person that started with scrunch bums in South Africa. Obviously, I helped the previous owner of Freddie when Freddie started, and I saw a gap there because Freddie was nice with shaping the bum and stuff, but when it came to their fitness clothes, there was no scrunch bum, there was no shaping the stuff. So I saw a gap there doing fitness clothes with really shaping the bum, the legs, and high waist, making a woman feel good while training.
And how was it? Because I think in a lot of people's business, you know, ventures, I think a lot of it is intuition. A lot of it is, you know, you've got a feeling that I think this is going to be successful. And you know, you see something and, you know, you don't know, there's no one else doing it. And you kind of just be like, you know what, I think this is going to work. Let me try it. Is that something obviously you experienced?
I was actually chatting to Andrew the other evening, and we were having a talk about how your path gets set. For example, he's a qualified architect. He spent 5 years doing that, but that's not what he's doing at the moment. But it guided him to design magazines and to design the T-shirts and stuff that he's doing now. When I left school, I wanted to be a hairdresser, and I knew I wanted a boutique, but I wanted to go into shoes. I'm still obsessed with shoes. I think I've got more shoes than clothes. But shoes is a whole different ball game. That is much harder and much more difficult and stuff to do. But I mean, I was a hairdresser, and then I ended up working for Guess for 3 years. And then I got stolen by Diesel, and then I went, my boss from there stole me for G-Star. So I've been working for these brands for almost like 15 years, and also helped doing the buying for ladies' clothing and stuff there. So I think that guided me into knowing this is coming. also what I do once every month or every second week or so, I literally go into big clothing shops like H&M and Diesel and G-Star and all of those things, and I see what I shouldn't be buying and what I getting ideas and stuff, because the thing is, especially with online stores, you can't do what everyone else is doing, because it's so easy when somebody's in a mall just to get groceries or to go to Vodacom, or they'll just walk into H&M or Zara and quickly buy something they didn't think they were going to buy. So you really need to go the extra mile on getting feet onto your website, making sure that this is something they won't find anywhere else.
How did you go about, finding the correct products? Was it obviously must have been a long process of, trying certain suppliers, using their quality, seeing their quality is not good enough,
Yeah.
and obviously that must have been quite a lengthy process. And I think it does need patience to find the right product, and also you want to perfect the product.
Yeah. I think in the beginning I made a lot of mistakes. I did work with some guys in Pakistan. And it's a lot about communication and trust and fabrics and stuff, people really going out of their way. So now I'm working with a great supplier that really sends me fabrics and pictures, and they kind of know what you like and what you don't like and what your brand is about. So it takes time to work with people knowing what you want, and I also think it's you either have it or you don't, like intuition. You have to know, okay, you kind of have to have a feel for fashion as well. It's not, I don't think everyone has it. I think that's why a lot of people copy other people and just think, okay, but in order for you to really stand out, because there's a lot of online shops opening up now doing exactly what I'm doing, but and that's great, but I also love having some competition. But in order for you to really make your business work is not to copy people. You have to do something that's either not here yet, way in advance, or something completely different. If you're going to do what everyone else is, your business is not going to last long at all.
And do you find not doing, not trying to copy the competition, is it you kind of seeing what they're doing, like, okay, this is what they're doing wrong, let me do the correct thing? Or is it not even caring about the competition and not even looking at what they're doing?
That's actually a very good question, JC. So what I've been doing is, whenever I see somebody's following me that's copying me, or a lot of other brands that also started off with me, I literally block them. And it's not being nasty or anything. It's just also saving my business, but also not wanting to see what you are doing. Sometimes I'll bring something out, like last time I spoke to you about the tie-dye. Then everyone will start doing tie-dye. Then I've got customers sending me pictures and saying, look, they're doing this or this. It's better for you not to look what other people are doing and just do your own thing. Also because you don't want to have the same pricing. You're either underpriced or overpriced, or you do your thing and you just keep on with that. Because as soon as you start looking what other people are doing, you're going to look, okay, this is their pricing, this is their wording, this is how they do their photos, this is what models they're using, and you're just going to end up looking the same. You need to block out all the competition and just stay in your lane and do what works for you, and trust your gut with whatever you're doing.
And how did you, establish, like, how did you get, obviously, because you being a mother and you having a daughter, and so was that obviously how the brand established, and you thought like, there isn't a brand in the market right now that empowers women, makes them feel more confident, feel more strong, and, it's an amazing fit, amazing feel, and it's not a brand that only young girls can wear. It's a brand that, makes an older person who look younger, and younger people continue to look younger. And that's not saying like it's bad to look old, but it's, youth is empowering.
Yeah.
And to continue and make have a lady feel like she's empowered, creates that confidence. And the more confidence people have, the happier they are, the more, their life, happiness creates happiness around you. If you are happy, if you are positive, if you are confident, more good things happen to you. People are drawn to you, and there's more opportunities in life. And that's obviously why women like your brand so much, is because I start confidence just by wearing these clothes, and then I see the domino effect that just by looking and feeling more confident, how it helps the rest of my life.
That's definitely how it started. I mean, I think as a woman, you have to go through that phase where you don't feel beautiful and you don't feel confident. And I think my clothes is just there to help you, just to build that confidence and know that you can look beautiful and stuff. How it started was, I obviously helped a lot of businesses grow and stuff. And even when I was doing fitness, I was sponsored by a lot of clothing people, and I realized that I would post something and the owner would tell me, listen, you just posted this today and it's sold out. And I thought to myself, you know what, I need to start working on my own business and my own life, promoting myself, because I'm not going to be doing fitness forever. I'm not going to look like this forever and stuff. I still love it. And that made me realize that I need to start doing for myself, not just because I want to make money, but I felt very caged in promoting clothes for other people, because I would be like, if this just had this little bit, or if you could just change this, this garment would look so much better. And then I had the freedom to do my own thing, knowing what women want and what women like and stuff like that. So that's one of how it started for me.
And that is the benefit of being an entrepreneur is, if you're working for someone else, you kind of have a set salary.
Yeah.
You kind of, you're capped at a certain
Yes.
point. And no matter how well you do within that, role and responsibility,
Yeah.
you're capped. Whereas an entrepreneur, it's endless possibilities.
Yeah.
And, as someone that also runs my own businesses, it's nice to see that, actually Elon Musk had a quote. He said the other day, it was something where it was, if you need motivational words to start something, if you need like a little bit of encouragement, what you're going to start is not actually for you.
Yes.
And I think it kind of works, and it is true initially, but I think everyone kind of does need encouragement, at least once you are started or once things get tough.
Yeah. I have to say, I watched one of Gary Vee's videos the other day, and a girl said there, how does she know she's burnt out? How does she know when she's tired? Does burnout mean she needs to do something else? And that to me hit home, because sometimes I do feel tired and stuff. But it's like you said, if you feel motivation, you need to have motivational words. You're already in the wrong business. You're either entrepreneur or you're not. I have days where like a week ago, I put 2 big orders, obviously for my new stock. And I've got 70 Rand in my bank account. But then in a few months again, I have stock again, but that's an entrepreneur. One day you have money and the next day you don't. But you never see the money in your bank as yours. It's never yours. It's business money. So I'm always poor.
Yeah.
But that's what an entrepreneur is. You don't know tomorrow. You might have money in your bank today, tomorrow it's gone. It's always about, what's the next step? What is my next thing to do? What's my next business opportunity? How much stock can I buy with this? It's not about how much money you've made. And Elon Musk, how many times have you lost everything? That's what makes you an entrepreneur. So if you have to have people try to motivate you every day to do what you're doing, you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
You should rather just work for somebody. Go do your 9 to 5, get your pay slip, and know that your job is done.
Entrepreneurship is literally like a game. It's literally like every day you get to wake up, you get to try level up, you get to try, meet new characters within this game, and you get to, improve yourself, your business, and that is like leveling up. And I know, like at the end of the month, when you've had a good month, you're like, okay, awesome, that was an amazing month. You feel relaxed for 30 seconds. Then the first of the next month comes and you start stressing. You're like, what do I need to do differently? What do I need to do better? How can I improve? How can I, make things different to, create more brand value? And I think as an entrepreneur, that stress that you feel, you have to have it.
It's a different stress than working for someone, but I will take that stress over working for someone anytime, because like working for somebody, no matter if the company's doing bad or good, you get your pay slip. When you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, when it's bad, it's bad. You know, there's no comfort anywhere. You lose that money, it's gone. And especially in the beginning, you make a lot of mistakes. And I think even when your business is set, you're still going to lose some money now and then. And it's nothing is guaranteed being an entrepreneur. And then even when you do make it and your business is successful, then you start doing more ventures and you
put more stress on yourself.
Put more stress on yourself. I don't think an entrepreneur ever like settles or, I don't think you ever settle and think, okay, now I've made it. I've got enough money now. It doesn't work like that.
As someone, obviously, as myself, we're into fitness, and I think our roots come from hard work, and that's what we learned through training and dieting. Everything.
Fitness gives you a lot of discipline, and you know you have to wake up, you have to do this, you have to do that. So it teaches you a lot of discipline.
And that's what you need as an entrepreneur. Obviously, I mean, if you're doing everything yourself, and if you're the head of everything, and you're the one that needs to call the shots, you're the one that needs to, be up when everyone else is sleeping. You're the one, and that's actually an interesting thing that someone else was telling me the other day. Where it's interesting because people, when it comes to dieting, they're much more hesitant to, make sacrifices than people are maybe for business. So someone the other day was actually a potential client. He said to me, I'm eating this, I'm limiting this. He's a businessman himself. So he says, like, it's difficult for me to eat different foods than my wife and the kids. It's difficult for me to be able to sacrifice certain things, in terms of food. Yeah. So I said to him, bro, you do it for business. Yes. It's difficult to wake up at 4:00 when everyone else is sleeping. It's difficult to work until 12:00 at night while everyone else has already gone to bed or everyone else is partying. Yeah. It's difficult then. Things in life that are worthwhile are difficult, and the sacrifices that need to be made have to be made if you do want to improve and become better.
Yeah, that's very true.
So how did you, did you do market research initially, or did you just, in terms of knowing like, okay, this is going to be a successful brand, or was that also maybe where the intuition came in?
I actually didn't know at all. I think as an entrepreneur, I just knew this is what I wanted to do. And I remember talking to Andrew to it, and he didn't laugh at my idea or at my name or anything, and he was just, okay, let's do it. And I obviously lended money from him, because it's you have to start off big, and I paid him back in, I think, less than 3 months, and then from that I just rolled over the money and still rolling over the money in.
Yeah, so I think that is a big thing. That was your intuition. And I think there's a talent for business. There's a talent for seeing a gap in the market. It's not just hard work. Of course, but you have to work hard and you have to make sacrifices. But there's a talent that you have that you kind of, most successful entrepreneurs, there's a talent for seeing a gap in the market, or, finding a product that everybody needs, but there isn't one. Yeah. And finding, and understanding fashion. Yeah. Everything that, has made you a businesswoman, at the end of the day, is talent and hard work. And I think also hard work is talent.
I have to agree with you there. You know what? I can sit here and tell you, for your website or for your brand or whatever you're doing, I can tell you need to do something else that no one else is doing, but that might not be your talent. You might not know. They call it fashion forecasters. So I have an intuition to know that this is going to be in fashion, or this won't be in fashion and stuff. But you don't have to. I mean, for example, I love Seattle. I'm obsessed with Seattle, where I know every Seattle branch there is, but I'll only go to one. And the reason for that is...
Which one's that?
It's actually at a garage.
Okay.
There's the nicest Seattle branches you get, but I go to one at a garage. And why? The way I get greeted, the way I get... They'll make a little bear on my coffee for me. I'll get in there. Before I even give my order, they already start making it. It's just that extra mile. When I go to the other Seattle branches, it's like they're having a conversation with themselves. They don't, they don't greet you, look at you. When you give them a tip, they're supposed to do a ritual that they do at Seattle when they get a tip. So for me, it's like I'll rather drive that extra few kilometers to go to that specific one where I get treated like gold. And that should be a business lesson for everyone. You can do what everyone else is doing. It's the way you make people feel at the end of the day. It's the way you treat them. They will always come back. That's the most important thing. And it's not hard when you love what you do. And
Well,
if
you
you
said
can't
that-
do
yeah.
that easily, you're in the wrong business.
You said in the previous podcast where you said,
Yeah.
if someone, obviously online orders, it's difficult to get sizing perfect every time. So one of the ladies messaged you and said, I got the wrong size. So you went and drove there, you give her a
Yes.
different size,
Yeah.
you make the exchange. And I think that's going the extra mile for your
Yeah.
clients.
That's also something else I want to talk to Jessie. I have to say, I think 2020 was a big learning curve for me, going the extra mile, because you also have to think to yourself where to draw the line. 2020 was a big lesson for me, knowing that people also take advantage of it. I realized that I would go the extra mile and people will also just want more and more and more. And you need to know where to draw the line. When it comes to your messages and time with your family, I mean, I started getting messages on Christmas Eve, on Christmas, and time when I was spending time with my family, where people obviously were opening gifts and saying, okay, I've got the wrong size or this or that. I think it's very important for you as a business owner also, if you answer messages at 11 at night or let people walk over you when you do go the extra mile, that is your fault. And you need to make people also understand, you are not going to phone Zara at 11 o'clock at night or message them at 11 o'clock, or there's certain rules with their returns and exchanges, and you must also respect that with other stores. So even if you do go the extra mile for people, you must know that people will take advantage, and you must also know where to put your foot down.
I think it is a difficult line to draw because, let's say someone does message you at 11, you almost, you want to create and bring them more value, but also as you say, you need to draw the line,
You shoot
because
yourself
if
in the foot by doing that,
if you
because you
answer-
open up that door.
Yeah, if you answer it at 11 o'clock one time,
Yes.
the next time you don't, it looks like you're getting bad service.
Yeah.
But if you, from the start, have established the line of communication where people know, what, it's 5 o'clock, it's after 5 o'clock, cooking dinner for the family, spending time with the family, at Zara, I mean, who are you going to call after closing time? There's no one to call.
Yeah.
And also, understandably, you need to establish that with your clients. And obviously, you can't reply and be like, hi, please don't message me at this time. You can leave the message. You can, answer it in the morning. And I find myself as a business owner as well, that's a difficult line for me to draw. Because sometimes, like, I'll be watching TV, it'll be like 10 at night, I'll get a message. And I'll be like, I want to respond because I want this person to see that obviously I'm going the extra mile for them. But then also, as you say, you can be shooting yourself in the foot.
Because the thing is, you open that door and people need to know, like, set yourself some rules just for your own sanity, for your business. Make a rule that, like, maybe let's after 5 or 7, you don't reply to messages. And you can read them. But just take your time on, especially because at that time you don't want maybe that customer to hear your response because you're tired as well. You need to, the one thing that I've learned as well is in the evenings I have to just let go and maybe go watch some Netflix or whatever, because I'm a workaholic. I would not know where to draw the line. And you have to have that balance just to relax and get refreshed and start the day. I know a lot of people will say that, you have to work non-stop like Gary Vee. But I think it's very important to have that balance, especially if you have a family. You need to also remember what you're working for. It's not just work. You need to also enjoy that, what you're working for with your family, and take that time.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're working to obviously for self-improvement, it's a self-fulfillment, but you're also working to provide for your family, to create comfort, create a nice lifestyle for your family. And if you're just working and you're just focusing on that, then you're not, at the end of the day, you're not really creating a nice lifestyle for your family, because your kids never see you. Or, I mean, that's also something that Gary Vee says. He says, if your if you want to work all the time and never spend time with your family and that's your goal, go for it. If you're not comfortable doing that and you want to shut off at 6 in the evening, that's good. You must do that as well. Like, that's also, there's no right way of working. The right way of working is what works for you and what works for your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's very important.
Because you can't, at 10 o'clock, your kids, okay, obviously, let's say they've gone to bed, but before they've gone to bed, they like, maybe they're doing schoolwork, or maybe they're asking you questions, and you just answering them a quick answer so that you can focus on your work. And at the end of the day, if that business fails, you don't want to shut out everyone in your life. Once the business fails, you have nothing and you have no one.
Yeah.
Where obviously that's where priorities come in, and that's where your values come in as a person. And that's what's nice about your brand. It's family values, and I mean, in the name, it's mama, it's family, and it's someone that cares for people. It's a strong, powerful person and woman that cares for people.
Yeah. But also to the people that have just started their businesses, they must just know that I think literally your first 3 years, you must know that you're going to work. There's going to be no relaxing. If you want to make a brand work, your first 3 years is going to be the hardest. I read somewhere that if your business is still out of every 10 businesses, I think two businesses makes it past the 5 year.
Sure.
And if you pass the 5 year, one of those two businesses will make it till 10 years.
Yeah.
So your first 3 years, I think, is very, very important. And then from your fourth and your fifth year, I think it goes a little bit easier. But if you can make your 5 year mark, then okay. But you still not made it.
Yeah.
After 10 years, you can say, okay.
I think last year, 2020, was like that 10 years put into one for most businesses.
Yes.
I mean, what is that statistic you told me before?
From every 5 out of every 10 businesses.
No, the one before we started the podcast with the 30% of.
Oh yes, a lot of businesses from last year in the January to last year has gone 30% less in their profit margins.
And I think a lot of businesses even did worse than that and closed.
No.
And I think if your business, survived, the stage of lockdown, if you even just to be able to make a profit, I think then you can survive in any economic climate.
Yeah. I think this year has been a big test for a lot of people. A lot of businesses closed, but a lot of people that have closed their businesses started something new, something better maybe. So, I believe everything happens for a reason. It's a blessing in disguise maybe. You might not see it now, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I know when I was studying, and I was like, you know what, I never want to use this degree. Why am I studying this? And someone said to me, well, even if you study that to know you're not going to do that for the rest of your life, then do it. If you start a business, you're learning throughout the process. You're learning so many different things while you're doing that business. Even if you just learn what works and what doesn't work, it's not like you wasted that time, because every negative thing that happens to you, you can take a positive out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. I mean, I was discussing with you earlier, me and Andrew was having this discussion where Andrew studied architecture for 5 years. I mean, he doesn't do that. He's not an architecture. But it did help him to design magazines and the clothing brand that he started now, which I'm also helping him with now.
That is very cool.
You see, I started brand. 5 years ago. Now I can give him tips and stuff to help him as well. And I mean, when I finished school, I wanted to be a hairdresser, and I knew I always wanted a boutique, but I wanted to go into shoes. And I mean, from hairdresser, I was a hairdresser. The company was bought over, and I was like, okay, I just moved into my own little space now. I need to pay rent and stuff. What am I going to do? So I was headhunted by Guess. I went to Guess, and then from there they stole me over for Diesel, and then I worked at G-Star, and all of that was a bit between. It was about more or less 15 years in doing buying for these people. So it prepared me into what I'm doing now. And I mean, I think if I could give advice to people is, first of all, you might not understand your path now, especially when you're leaving school or whatever you're studying. I always say to people, when you leave school, don't go and study immediately. just, go work, go do a part-time job, see what because you change all the time. I think your 20s is a big learning curve for what you want or what you don't want.
I was actually having that discussion the other day with a friend. I was like, when I was in first year and second year varsity, my mindset was so different. I was so carefree. I wasn't thinking about money at all. I wasn't thinking about business at all. And then, there was just like a switch in me that was like, you know what? It was actually, to be honest, was when I started dating Sasha. Because I was a student. I wasn't earning any money. And then she was working at a gymnastics coaching facility. So she was earning money.
Yes.
Then I was like, you know what? How can... Like, it wasn't the male needs to earn money, the female can't mindset. It was how can she be working harder than me? It was, and that's also how I've lived my whole life is, I can't be obviously you will be, but I don't want to be outworked. I don't want to have someone that is working harder than me.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be about success. It's about the work and the enjoyment of, setting challenges and working and trying to overcome those challenges.
Yeah.
And, when she started earning money, she would be able to pay for dinners. I'll be like, my parents gave me X amount.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, I don't have any left. She's like, okay, it's fine. I'll pay for you. Yeah. And then that kind of put in me, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be dependent on someone.
Yeah.
And I don't want, I don't want to have to rely on someone. So I was like, let me get to work. Let me start doing something. And, just having her in my life, doing work, doing something, motivated me and inspired me to, make certain change. I still was continue to study, obviously, but then I started doing the online training and, just trying to do, and as you say, do something different than what other people is doing. I was, some people just write a plan with, just the exercises as words. I would go and I would film a video of it, then I would put the link there so people can see exactly what form.
Amazing.
And that's, so
I love that.
I was looking, how to do it differently and how
what are you offering what other people aren't.
Yeah, how to establish yourself different to other people. And, it was just having her earning money and I wasn't kind of motivated me to work harder and just to try to find that fulfillment within myself. Yeah. And I don't think that fulfillment in yourself can ever actually be fulfilled, because as an entrepreneur, you're always working harder, you're always setting new goals, and that doesn't mean, obviously, though, that if that fulfillment's never filled, that you're unhappy.
Yeah.
Because, if those little goals, and I think that's also important as a business owner, is to set those little goals. Because if you just have this big goal in mind, then you don't ever get there. But if it's those little goals leading up to the big goal, it's much easier.
That's very true. It's actually very interesting to hear how Sasha has been such an influence in your life, because I feel like as a partner you need that. Like Jessie, I told you, like it'll be 8-10 at night and I'm still working, still doing stock takes, still doing this, or still talking to buyers, and Andrew would be like, okay, it's relaxed time now, you need to come and Netflix and chill. And your partner needs to bring that balance into your life. Like I hope that I'm the person that like gets him to think differently about things as well. But it's interesting to see how she's influencing your life. I feel like with your partner, it needs to be that yin yang. The partner needs to bring to the table what you're missing, and other way around. Because I'm sure you're doing things to her. It's like you maybe bringing her like balance in her life as well, and that's very important. Because especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're working your 10 hours at home, that partner is there for those 10 hours, and you feed off that person. So at the end of the day, it's like they say, the person who you are is the person that you hang out with at the end of the day. So they either bring to the table or you need to leave. That's how it is. And it's very important to have somebody like that in your life.
And especially as a business owner, that person that can kind of, set you straight. Because I'll go to Sasha, I'll complain about a client. I'll say, this person, they're being ridiculous. And she'll be like, no, Jessie, you being ridiculous. She's that. Yeah, she's like, no, that client actually isn't really being unfair. Like, you kind of just expecting too much or whatever of them.
Yes.
Like, just understand that people are different. They think differently from you. And
I tell that to Andrew all the time. People think differently than you. You can't expect everyone to think like you.
And that's also, you need to learn it. And also that's nice. As you said, that yin and yang of, and also that I find myself, I'm very, negative about things. I'm always like, okay, no, this isn't going to work out. there's times where it's weird. There's times where I'm very positive and times where I'm very negative.
Yes.
You know, things about business, I'll be semi-positive. You know, a lot of people say, you know, all the best successful people are, you know, very positive and very, you know, there's always that I'll say if I lose a client, you know, I'm very positive in saying like there's always more money to be made. There's always new clients coming in. But there's so many other aspects where I'm so negative that Sasha will come back, Jesse, be more positive. And that's the yin and the yang that you need.
That's very important. Like I used to be a big softie and I'm very naive and stuff. And Andrew brought that part of me where he toughened me up a little bit, and you know, not to just to be so close-minded and just be really see things for how they are. So it helps. You have to have that partner.
Yeah.
You know.
In closing, I'm gonna start doing it now with all the other guests. So I'm gonna do it with you. I've now called it the Fun 5.
Okay,
so
the first one.
You're the first one. I thought about it this morning. I've seen other people do it, so I was like, let me do it. So I'm gonna ask you 5 random questions.
Okay.
And then the first answer that maybe you've thought about these things or whatever, but the first answer that you want to answer with, that you can say that answer.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food. My child asks me that all the time. I don't really have any favorite food. Let's just go for fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sushi or?
Yeah, sushi.
Okay.
Yes.
And favorite TV show?
Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
Hands down. It's like I'm obsessed.
And have you finished all of it?
I watched it like 3 times.
Okay. Sasha and I actually started watching it, and then we watched like the first 4 seasons. And you know, you start something else, and then like it kind of falls away.
Yeah.
So now that you brought it up again, we need to get back to it.
Just keep through that first season. It just gets better.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with old school stuff like that. Old cars. You've seen my little car and stuff. Anything vintage. Love antiques and stuff. But just push through the first season. It's my birthday month as well, and my theme party is also Peaky Blinders.
That's cool.
So we're going to dress up and stuff.
Yeah. That's also like the intro scenes where like the coal and the
I
flames and the
cars and the horses and the buildings.
It's a very visual series, which is
I love
nice.
it.
And then celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush.
Could be male, female, doesn't really matter. You know, someone that you like, she's beautiful, or I like her fashion, or
Britney Spears.
Okay.
Yeah. When I went to Vegas, I had to choose. I had to be on stage at the same night she was performing, and I almost went to a concert.
You almost just prepped for nothing just so you can go watch Britney.
Yeah.
Okay, and then which superhero or like fictitious person would you be from a series, movie, or anything?
Superhero.
Or even like someone from Peaky Blinders, or like any fictitious, TV show or anything.
Sure. I don't have one, but my little girl asks me all the time if I had to have a superpower, what would it be? And I always tell her, like, if Mama could burn people with her eyes.
So like laser vision.
Yeah, laser vision.
And I'm sure that's Andrew's impact on making you a bit more harder and a bit more headstrong and a bit more...
Probably kill people with my eyes.
And then your favorite animal?
Hares.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it's like...
But you've got some... You tell people how many animals and what you plan on getting there on your plot.
So I've been a very busy girl. We live on a plot. Half the animals there they're definitely not from a pet shop. So I've got my one rabbit that's in the house. He's very cute, and he thinks he's a dog. He doesn't think he's a rabbit. And then my daughter's got one that she got for her birthday. And then I rescued 9 rabbits, which I got home for 2 of them. We're making a little space for them soon outside, and they all got fixed and sprayed and everything. So I've got 7 of those now. Then I have 2 hares. We released one. I'm still trying to release the other one. Then I've got a rescued hedgehog, which the crows pecked, and I had to nurture him and stuff, but he's fine now. And then we've got 2 tortoises.
Okay.
I don't know how many animals that is.
And you wanted something else for your birthday?
Yeah, so for my birthday, Andrew asked me what I wanted, so I thought I'll be smart. I'll start with a big thing and then slowly ease him into what I really want. So I told him I wanted a horse, and he was just like, no, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of money, which I understand. Yeah. So I said to him, no, I want a sheep.
You mustn't... Now he's going to watch this and understand I'm sure he understands
your
methods
already. He knows already. I've already my best friend came to visit on Sunday, so I'll just tell her everything and he hears it. I think he knows already.
I guess he's been with you long enough to understand your methods.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing your sheep on the social media.
Thank you. I'll bring it for a walk here.
Well, when you get it, we can come visit.
Oh, well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was very cool. Thanks.
Awesome. And thanks, guys, for listening.